This is Sharp Week on VSiN, the sports betting network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Good Friday morning to you. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, Sirius XM Channel 158. Sharp Week and the madness in full effect. Gil Alexander, my little buddy Kelly Bidlin, everybody. How you doing, man?
Good, man. Good. Good day. First day of the action, the madness. Ready for day two.
Why, it's madness.
Right. It's pure madness.
Steve Fezzik will join us today. Let's get this administrative work out of the way. Fezzik Fridays today as well. Michael Montesano will join us to talk NCAA tournament bets with us, as will Dalen Cuff. We'll talk NCAA tournament survivors. Got off to a great start yesterday. Very pumped. And a little later, are we sure? Estamos seguros. Coming up on the show. Brought to you by Providex. All of it on the show today. Real quick, before we jump right into the madness from yesterday and today, tennis, because a match starts right now in Miami. Yesterday, while we were on air, we lost the 2 with Basilashvili gacking 5-set points. It was the whole thing. But then we went 3-1 the rest of the day. Was trying to sweep the rest. Didn't quite get there. Today there's 5, one of which on the men's side begins right about now, which is Thiago Agustin Tirante, who's -1 versus Valentin Royer. Tirante is the first play of the morning, -101 on the men's side. I do have Martin Landelus versus Luciano Darderi on the men's side as well at +111. Ethan Quinn, the big dog, versus Casper Ruud at +174. Those are on the men's side. And then on the ladies' side today, Taylor Townsend, +140 versus Jasmine Paolini, and Iva Jovic, your girl, Kelly, or Danny's girl, can't remember, -145 versus Paula Badosa. Sorry, Edward Lefevre, I'm fading your girl.
What's Casper Ruud been up to? I feel like I haven't heard that name in a while.
He's tremendous. Top 20 player. That kind of thing. But Ethan Quinn's been playing great on hard court. So those are your 5 tennis plays. Just wanted to say those quick because Tirante starts right now if you want to get in on those. Okay. A little, again, 3-3 total yesterday, small profit. So the madness. Is there anything that that just... Listen, let me just say this one sentence, and then we'll get it out of the way, and we'll talk about the good stuff. Mm-hmm. Half the games were unwatchable. Okay, I had to be the one to say that. That, right?
It's the greatness of the NCAA tournament. We talked about it yesterday off the air. There's always a couple stinkers every single day, but because there's so much going on at once, we don't care.
We don't care because half of them were pretty amazing.
If they were all standalone, me and you would be going nuts about it.
That's right. That's right. Someone had to say it. Anyway, awesome day. In terms of we did get a few upsets, right? We got a few now. It's funny how everybody after it's the small sample size conclusions after one day are tremendous, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't know about these number 1 seeds. Oh, we're gonna have more upsets than we have. Let's let today play out first,
right? Yeah,
right. Because if we don't get any upsets today, it's exactly how we thought it would be. So we'll see. But yesterday was great. First of all, I had VCU in Survivor. That got there.
Yeah, me too.
I also had Texas in Survivor. That got there. We'll get to Survivor talk, but VCU trailed by 19 against Carolina. Trailed by 19, 56-37 early in the second half. Then 70-56 with just over 6 minutes to go. They went on a 12-0 run to cut it to 2, a 19-5 run, if you will, from that point to force overtime, and got a Terrence Hill Jr. 3-point splash with 15 seconds left in OT to go up 80-78. That held up after Henry Vassar got 2 shots at the line to tie, but missed the first and then didn't know the rules on the second, bounced the ball off the backboard, didn't hit any rim, gave the ball to VCU. Nick Lewis hit 2 free throws to seal it. 82-78 VCU. In the largest first-round comeback in NCAA tournament history. How about that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Largest. Right. You know who tried to beat that a little earlier?
South Florida?
South Florida.
Yeah.
They trailed.
Got lucky on both of those.
They trailed. Boy, the VCU thing, by the way, shout out to the Fighting Dave Rosses of VCU, because apparently he claimed VCU this year. Yeah.
He went to VCU.
That's what we're told.
He claimed 4 other schools.
I thought it was VMI. Now he goes with VCU. So I don't know.
He's rooting for Virginia today. I know that much.
It's a moving target.
I said he claims 4 other schools. He went to VCU, though.
Oh, he claims 4 others, but VCU is the actual one?
Yeah, that's the actual one.
South Florida was the most ridiculous cover of the day, and thank you very much for that one. I had South Florida plus 4.5. That's about as lucky as it gets. South Florida trailed Louisville by 23 with just under 13 minutes to play, by 22 with just over 10:30 to play. They lost by 4 after Joseph Pinion hit a 3 with 5 seconds left, and then Sananda Frew missed 2 free throws for Louisville, and South Florida covers miraculously. Don't get there, but cover in a ridiculous cover. If you had Louisville, good, my condolences. My God.
Oh, I was with a few people. I think there was 5 of us total. All of us had bets on this game, but it was either 4.5, 5.5 on South Florida, or a couple people had 3.5 on Louisville.
I see. I didn't have the best number, 4.5, and I just got there. So super lucky.
So lucky. Oh my God, I had the luckiest day ever. It's great.
The biggest upset in terms of seeds. Till the NBA.
Yeah, till the NBA.
In terms of seeds, there were those. So again, VCU an 11 seed. Texas got there, of course, outlasting BYU as an 11 seed. And the day started with that TCU dramatic win over Ohio State. So I guess that was something too. We were barely off air at that point. But there were 2 11 seeds. Again, Texas and VCU get there. But in terms of seeding, the biggest upset, 12th seeded High Point, which beats Wisconsin outright as 10.5-point dogs. I guess that was the biggest upset also in terms of ATS outright upset. As a $4 dog, High Point gets it done against Wisconsin. Wisconsin led by 8 with under 5 minutes to play, 70-63. But then Chase Johnston with a 3, Terry Anderson with a 3. All of a sudden it was 70-68. And then Nick Boyd of Wisconsin, he had 10 points in less than 3 minutes, in a 3-minute span, to keep the Badgers in the lead. Every time High Point would stay within a score, tie it up, Boyd was just doing it all. And then finally Chase Johnston with a 3 with 55 seconds left to get High Point to within 1, 82-81 with 55 seconds left. Wisconsin with the ball late. Boyd tried to drive again, missed a shot, and then Johnston on a breakout ahead behind the defense. His only 2-point bucket of the season to put High Point up 83-82.
So awesome. So awesome. How do you not look into like some layup like all year? You know what I mean? A run out on a turnover, whatever.
And then Boyd tried to go to the rack one more time after his flurry, and they were waiting for him. Owen Aquino blocks it, and after a missed free throw, Wisconsin baseball pass was picked off. Ball game. High Point. Congratulations to anybody who had a High Point advancing in your brackets, especially your upset rewarded brackets. And if you had them in Survivor, you're a point ahead of me. Whoever had a High Point yesterday is in the lead in Survivor, the early going. And then the other headline, which we alluded to, was, okay, are the number 1 seeds, obviously Arizona and Florida still to go today, but man, Duke against Siena in a 116. And yes, Stevie Fezzik will be with us later, did have the big money lines on both. He'll talk about that. Duke trailed by 10 halfway through the first half, down 11 at the half, the largest halftime deficit of any 1 seed versus a 16 in history. By as many as 13 to Siena, only finally took the lead with 4:27 to go. 63-61. It was their first lead since 10-8 in that ball game before winning 71-65. And then Michigan, by the way, shout out Howard University, Northwest D.C.
Yeah, man.
Michigan only led Howard by 4 at the half. Howard was just a 3-point barrage in the first half before Michigan separated from them in the second half. That was way closer than I thought it would be.
That was a tight, entertaining first half. Duke Siena, I don't someone smarter than me can weigh in, I guess, on Duke. But, I mean, they got killed in the first half. Like, Siena was getting, like, anything they wanted.
The small sample size, instant reaction or overreaction. I don't know if all the 1 seeds are going to get their crowd. I will concede on Duke. Duke did not look good.
That first half did not look good, yeah. There might be real concerns there.
And then in a contest that is notable to some around here, the numbers game team, after one day, the numbers game team entry into the VSiN Bracket Challenge at VSiN.com. 8-2, baby, out of the gates.
You know what I'm just realizing? Did we just accidentally split up 10-10?
We did, accidentally. We completely accidentally did 10 yesterday and 10 today.
All right.
8-2, baby.
I don't know if I could tell you more than 2 off the top of my head that we have today because we had to fill out 20 picks.
Are we eligible for the prize? We are not. It's not the point. Just want to flex our muscles. 8-2. Let's get it going today as well. So today I still have after the South Florida miraculous cover yesterday.
That was great.
And we'll get to Survivor. Okay, here are the standings of the VSiN shows. Oh, look at that, a little standings thing. We're tied with By the Books, but they're 8-1. They've already put 17. 17 have already gone for them. We're only halfway through. We're 8-2. Who are we looking at? Prime Time is right behind us.
Yeah,
7-2. Is that Humans and Murray?
It probably
7-2.
The college basketball guys. Yep.
College basketball guys.
That checks out. Checks out.
Yeah, it checks out.
Can I tell you about some of my luck box wins yesterday?
Yes,
How
please.
about the 3 full game?
Luckier than the South Florida cover?
No, South Florida.
Yeah.
South Florida, VCU,
Yeah.
and Arkansas covering 15, even just stretching down at the end. 3-0 on full game. And then I was texting you, just like the first of 10s were so fun. They're like, oh boy, did I fire away again today. I started off the day 3-0, first of 10s, and then I finally lost one. I was like, all right, I'm going to stop.
Kelly's hitting the first of 10. He's like, college basketball betting is so easy. Like, okay.
I definitely texted Gil at some point. I might be the greatest college basketball bettor ever.
You know, Todd's the greatest in-game bettor. I'm the greatest pre-flop bettor there's ever been. So I got stupid lucky on the on South Florida. Today, in addition to the 5 tennis plays, I got Akron going plus 7.5 versus Texas Tech. I think a lot of people are on that. Santa Clara plus 4 versus Kentucky. I know Dr. Bob is on this too, but I got to tell you, after watching Gonzaga and specifically St. Mary's yesterday, I don't know about these West Coast Conference teams. Got Santa Clara plus 4 there. And I do have Northern Iowa plus the 10.5 versus St. John's. I don't feel spectacular about that one either. I did at the time, obviously. And then the total number 1 seed tournament wins over 14.5. 2 already in the books.
Boom.
As hard as they came. Still 2 towards getting to 15. Come back. Survivor Talk next on a numbers game right here at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Before you bet a single pitch this season, go to VSiN.com/MLB for complete betting previews of all 30 teams, all in one place. VSiN managing editor Adam Burke breaks down the numbers, advanced metrics, projections, and the angles the market might miss. Former big leaguer Jensen Lewis adds the player's perspective, clubhouse chemistry, adjustments, and what really translates over 162 games. Everything you need before opening day. Go to VSiN.com/MLB and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
Coming up on the next edition of Follow the Money, Day 2 of the Madness. In play, break down all the games, hoops, Peterson, rapid fire, sides, totals. The numbers for Saturday will be out as well, and that's when we welcome in Richie Baccellieri and what he makes the weekend numbers and any best bets from Circa. Follow the Money, 4 to 7 Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, SiriusXM channel 158. Check out the website for all the betting tools and analysis, or get the VSiN Watch app.
This is Sharp Week on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This show is brought to you by ProfitX, and right now you can win a free trip worth up to $10,000 during March Madness with King of March. Use code VSiNMM as in March Madness, a numbers game brought to you by ProfitX, and right now you can compete to become the King of March and win free trips up to $10,000. Download the ProfitX app. Use code VSiNMM. I had to say it twice. Scan the QR code for more there as well, by the way. Skill Alexander. We get tweets beating the book. This is from, did you see this exchange? Dalen Cuff is going to join us momentarily. This is, how great a guy is Dalen. Jesse Welch, one of our oldest, he goes, I don't remember why, but I used to be annoyed by Dalen Cuff back when he was on local networks in New England. I'm here to say that I'm completely flip-flopping on that. His coverage is fantastic. He might be one of my favorites now. My bad, Dalen. And Dalen comes in, and he goes, in your defense, I am annoying. Hashtag self-awareness.
Yeah, I was dying laughing when I saw Jesse tweet that.
Dalen is the best. We love Dalen.
Like are you supposed to react to one of those? We've all gotten those before. It's like, all right, cool, thanks.
Michael Montesano and Dalen Cuff will be on later, as will, of course, Stevie Fezzik on the show. Fred Courier, awesome Thursday show. Glad you're getting great weather. Fred Courier always with his weather updates every morning. He never got over you.
Great weather,
about
Fred.
The weather.
Great weather. Saw some live shots of Buffalo yesterday. It's looking pretty cold up there, Gil.
We'll have a bunch of sort of things on Monday. If the announcers say ridiculous things, I'll have a list on Monday. I don't know how much audio I'm going to get this weekend, but Kelly, you were able to point out one yesterday.
Dude, that's you know what the best part about that was? Can't remember if I texted you this. I was running around all afternoon, like you just said. I feel like I barely heard anything yesterday, and then as soon as I walked in my place, turned it on.
9.7 seconds left. Texas 77, BYU 71. Texas to inbounds from under their basket. Wally Zerbiak doing color with Brad Nessler.
Oh, it was Wally, too. I like Wally.
He goes, the strategy for BYU is you have to get a steal here. You do not want to let that ball come in at all. If it does get in, you got to foul immediately. That's the kind of insight we're looking for.
The strategy here, Gil, you got to get a steal.
Down 6 with 9 seconds left.
It was like pause, got to get a steal. Pause, and then foul. Like, all right, yeah, got it.
Can I just say also Brad Nessler, who was the play-by-play guy, Brad Nessler's S's are extending longer than ever before. Have you noticed this?
No, I did not, actually.
He's like, Texas up 6. I'm like, okay. Play started already. We'll just a little sensitive to these guys.
It was wild. I feel like it was 2 minutes into me turning volume up full blast. It was like, there it is. I'm like, I wonder if Gil got this.
Texas. Okay. You mentioned before the break, or we mentioned, that you had this great start to your race to 10s yesterday here.
Yep.
You have now, because you were so successful with these, you have the audacity to have researched these before they've happened.
No, they're incredibly addicting.
And now you have 4 plays for us.
I got 4 right away. We're starting all the dogs. I don't know, but I'm just always looking at dogs for these things. So we're starting right away. First game, Santa Clara, plus 105, first to 10. And then I went Akron, Hofstra, Northern Iowa, all those in the first to 10s. And then other bets from me today did end up where Northern Iowa, we've both been on that here for the past couple days. Added then, laid it with Purdue, laid it with Kansas. So big numbers with both of those. And then the Atlanta Hawks in the NBA tonight.
Why do you say the NBA that way? With a sigh.
I'm sure everybody's super, super excited to watch the NBA.
Yeah.
It is bizarre. It is watching like 2 different sports. When I was doing college basketball all day yesterday, and I'm flipped on Luka Doncic for a quarter and a half, and you're like, I don't know what sport I'm watching anymore.
Midas Vokietitis for Texas.
Yeah.
All right, Survivor yesterday. This is really, really all it comes down to.
I caught
Survivor.
a Djokovic. Right? So it was a Djokovic on some team.
There's a Djokovic on, yeah.
I don't even remember what.
Yeah.
I don't remember who.
Djokovic. Yesterday, so again, the pool that Kelly and I are in, if you were in your Survivor pool, the rules may differ. But it's still, I just want to say again, I've said it for so many years here on this show. It's the greatest, most fun betting vehicle there is. And again, I was involved in a one that got shut down by the feds a couple decades ago, or a decade and a half ago. Used to get up to like 800,000 because they let you re-up all day long on Thursday before the final game. This one, obviously, we now live in a different time, so this isn't that. But Maybe you're in the Splash Sports one. The one that we're in, 3 entries. You get a mulligan on each, so you get 3 rebuys, a rebuy for each of them. And ultimately, it's not enough to get through. Again, my buddy Tommy, my oldest, dearest friend, I keep throwing him under the bus. I told him yesterday, I said, I'm going to keep throwing you under the bus for this, because he did it again yesterday.
Oh, hey, Tommy for you, Casey for me. They're good friends of ours. They know they get ripped apart on the show.
Everybody's got a Casey. So he, you know what he does? He's like, I'm going to take Arkansas, I'm going to take Nebraska, and I'm going to take, pick. I can't remember what his third one was. I was like, well, good for you. You're 3 for 3. By the way, I hope you get to the end. You're never going to win this way. Again, the object is not to survive, people. The object is to win. So yesterday I went to 3-11 seeds, got beat on South Florida, but hit on VCU in Texas. So I had one rebuy. You?
One rebuy of South Florida. Yeah. I got bounced too.
Okay, so we both had South Florida.
Hit on Arkansas. Arkansas was one.
The reason, I don't think I ever said it, the reason that you are incentivized to take the lower seeds is because ultimately if you get to the promised land, if you get through a survivor bracket, remember it's not just enough to pick a different team to advance each day. You have to have teams left at the end, right? Elite 8, Final 4, championship game. You have to have teams available to you to get to the end. Makes it a sort of multi-dimensional puzzle. But in the end, if there's multiple people who get to the promised land, the tiebreaker is the sum of seeds. So you are incentivized to take some of these lower seeds, which is why I went with the 3-11s. 2 of those 3 worked out. So on the rebuy today, the question is then, how do you play today? Today, I didn't, there weren't as many, it wasn't as quick of a pick for me.
Oh, I'm right there with you. Actually, you know what, Gil?
Yesterday I took 5 seconds picking them because I'm like, it's got to be these 3.
It was actually almost as quick for me, but not like in a good way. It was just kind of like, okay, I'm picking between these limited amount I don't exactly love. There was what it felt easier yesterday. I'm with you.
On my rebuy, I went with Kentucky. Now, you may have noticed that I went with Santa Clara plus the points in my bet. After seeing the West Coast Conference teams yesterday, and maybe this is a stupid reaction by me, maybe it's not, but I all of a sudden lost all confidence in Santa Clara up against Kentucky. So I actually took Kentucky, a 7 seed, in my rebuy. So I'm at 0 with the rebuy entry. I start with Kentucky there.
That was my rebuy. I went then with Akron, actually, because that was kind of my more aggressive route, and I'm going to keep that.
Okay.
Kind of more. I've got a more conservative, more aggressive, and then more kind of down the middle route.
My other 2, and these are the ones that got through with 11 seeds, Texas and VCU yesterday. I got Miami, not Miami of Ohio, but Miami of Florida, 7 seed over Mizzou, the 10 seed Tigers, who Jeff Parles, Mizzou grad on the Megapod, was like, we have no chance of winning this game. Todd hates Mizzou. Mm-hmm. Everybody, Jim Root doesn't like Mizzou. He went to Mizzou.
Mm-hmm.
It's good enough for me. I'm on Miami as a number 7. And in my other one, I did take Akron, the 12 seed again. So trying to get Akron home. Has Akron got Texas Tech? Is that their game? I get them all confused now in my head. Yes, Texas Tech. Okay. Your other 2 you went with?
UCLA and Tennessee, and just, full transparency, both me and you were considering one, right? Miami was a big consideration for me.
I considered UCLA.
Yeah, so it probably would have been if I had to make a 4th, it probably would have been Miami today.
Yeah, I would have taken UCLA if I had another one. So that's the thing. So for me, with the 2 11s they got through, if somehow Akron wins, I'm probably in first place. Maybe not. Might be a point behind. But who knows? Someone could pick Cal Baptist or something, and they could win. So I don't know. But I'm just saying, I would be after the first 2 days. Keep in mind, there's 10 of these days, so the thing is barely started. But that would be a nice position to be in to get to the weekend anyway. But there is one mulligan on each.
I also can't. I think I did this last year. I was thinking about it. Our rules are specific, right, to our pool. It's not going to be the same for every pool, but I think it's fairly standard. Our rules are fairly standard. Even the rebuys? Maybe not the rebuy. Because that's the one, it's like the rebuy loses value the longer you go on.
The rebuy also is not allowed after the Sweet 16.
Right. But even the rebuy, because the one little wrinkle, which I love this rule. I love the rule of, like, if you're going to rebuy, but you can't play the team that knocked you out.
You can't play the team that knocked you out.
So it's an additional team that you can't use. makes you lose. So my point is, I think I stopped last year after first round. Like I rebought, and then I wasn't going to rebuy again later after that. I might do that again this year. So this might be my last.
So you're the person. I always wondered why in the pool that he's always like, the administrator is always like, there's not even close to 100% rebuy. Some people just decide I'll rebuy one of my 3 and then I'm out. So you're that kind of guy.
Yeah, it just depends. But it's all timing based, right? Like today I'm reloaded. I'm reloaded back with 3. Yeah. Like I'm going to keep firing today.
More fun than any bracket could ever be.
It's so much fun.
I was just watching Fortenbaugh was up on ESPN, our buddy Joe Fortenbaugh, when we were walking in, and they have millions of brackets filled out, and they said over 10,000, I think, after one day are still after millions, 10,000 are still
crazy.
Perfect
Every year.
You know how many got 0 correct? 20 people. How about those 20? 20 got none right. I think that's more. Now that is impressive. Dalen Cuff on the other side. His plays today as the madness continues on a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Time. There's nothing more valuable. It's what drives everyone to make the most of every moment. We celebrate living large in the now. In a city where time disappears, we create experiences that electrify the soul and memories that will last forever. We go big. We go all night. And here, everyone is invited. So get loose and get loud.
This is Circa. You'll have the time of your life.
Laptop or phone, couch or sportsbook, VSiN goes where you go. Wherever you watch VSiN, the experience stays seamless. Live shows, replays, and sports-specific clips all at your fingertips. VSiN Watch puts you in the driver's seat. Available in Roku, Samsung, Amazon, iOS, Android, app stores, or get it direct from the source at VSiN.com. Download VSiN Watch today on your favorite app store and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is Sharp Week on VSiN, the sports betting network. A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Once again, a numbers game, live from Circa Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Part of Sharp Week. Don't forget, if you're looking for an edge in this tournament, VSiN's seed-by-seed betting trends report gives you the historical trends, key stats, and betting angles for every matchup. Everything you need to bet every round smarter. And the best part, it's completely free. Download yours today for free at VSiN.com/download. That's VSIN.com/download. We get tweets beating the book. I just want to read one here before we get to Dalen, which is, we obviously do our college basketball formula. No shocker this year, right? No real surprises. Duke, Arizona, Florida, Michigan, and Houston were the 5 that qualified, from which a champion will come. Apparently, they did this on TNT. Coach Brian tweeting us this as well. And theirs came down to 7 teams, if I am accurately deciphering this video. Duke, Arizona, Houston, Michigan, right? 4-match. No Florida. I don't know what their criteria is exactly because I couldn't watch the whole video. No Florida, but Purdue, UConn, and Iowa State in there as well. So they had 7, Florida not among them, for what that's worth. Everybody alive so far.
Like it.
We shall see after one day. Ladies and gentlemen, we always love when he comes on the show, but especially kind of him to come when he is headed to Turner Studios right after he does his little spot with us. It's Dalen Cuff, everybody. Dalen, Dalen, Cuff is Cuff on Twitter. Dalen joins us now courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line. How you doing, man?
I'm very well. I had a fun day doing the fast break, as it's called. Monday, March Madness Live yesterday, and doing it again, running it back. I will tell you guys what is interesting, because as official NCAA partner, it's the first time in a while I've had to curtail my betting lingo on air.
Yes,
that was tough. So we're gonna see how we do today, if we can really make that work again. It's challenging.
That's actually obviously, to us, it's always an interesting subject. But I'm curious from your perspective. And you don't have to single out any one of the networks, but just if you take all that you've worked for, sort of as a collective, where is the needle right now? Is it acceptance? Is it a reluctant acceptance? Is it aversion? Is it embracing? Where do we stand on this?
It varies by network, but by and large, they all know where it's going. And whether it was Turner during the year, or obviously ESPN being now, I guess, in bed with DraftKings, it was, Penn Entertainment for a while. We were allowed to lean into it. Over the last 5 years, we've kind of evolved into that. This being the NCAA's event, big partnership, my first time with Turner. I'm just going to follow the rules. Yeah, so this is the first time I think I've been told this. It's the first time I've been told this in a long time. To your point, though, this is a different world.
Yeah.
So we're doing some wink and nods again. I feel like Mr. Musburger at times again. We're throwing some out there. If you get it, you get it. Like that Louisville game yesterday. I think the camera was on me. My head was like, oh God, just that hurt. Like I was like, oh, that's tough for some folks. But yeah. Anyway,
I will look for if someone says, like, let's take the Texas game, yesterday, like, oh, big upset, 11 seed Texas. I will look to you to be like, well, actually,
I don't think so. I did make the mistake. I was like, They were talking about the biggest upset ever. I was like, I don't know if it's the biggest upset ever, but Duke was supposed to beat them by 30.5 points. Then in my head, I'm like, why did you have to throw the half in?
Yes, right.
But there was no need for that. But anyway,
before we get to your picks, I just want to, because I've heard some instant reaction after one day. Is it overreaction? I tend to think it might be, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's just take the one question before we get your picks of the number 1 seeds. Obviously, Duke struggling mightily with Siena, only took a lead or retook a lead with just under 4.5 minutes left yesterday after trailing by the most points any number 1 seed has trailed to a 16 at halftime ever in the history of the tournament. And then, of course, Michigan did pull away from Howard in the second half, but that was a half of basketball too. Can we make a broader judgment after one day of number 1 seeds that maybe this won't be the cakewalk some, including myself, might have thought it would be?
I don't necessarily think it's from those games in particular. Howard made 10 threes in the first half. Yeah. And when you make threes in the college level, it is the great equalizer. So they hung in there, and then they did cover too. Well done, boys. The other spot is Siena, though, is more of about Duke has a problem with their injuries. This is very clear. They are not the same defensive team. And they thought they were just going to roll the ball out and beat them, which most 6-1 seeds think that. Siena chasing all first half. They were back cutting. They were getting in the lane. They were kicking for threes, made, I think, 7 or 8 in the first half. and we're really comfortable. I credit John Shire in the second half going zone, and as a mid-major player, you go against zones, it's fine. When you see a zone with Dame Sarr with a 7-foot wingspan and Cameron Boozer 7-foot wingspan and Caden Boozer the guard with a 6'6", you're not used to seeing that, and they really struggle with that. Allowed them Duke to get out in transition and take control of that game, but it was still tight late. I think without Patrick Gumba, they are different defensively. I've said it over and over again how important he is on both sides of the ball for them. We'll see if he plays against TCU. They have the toughest 8-9 matchup. I've been saying this since last week. Whether it was Ohio State or TCU, I thought TCU would be a worse matchup. I took TCU in the bracket. I took TCU with 2.5 points. They move forward. This is a tough matchup. You have a team that should have beat Michigan, beat Illinois, beat Florida. Is not at all scared of them. Has physical bigs inside with Edmonds and Punch. They got guys that want to get into the lane and can't get in the lane. That's when they're at their best. They want to play in transition. I think this TCU team is a threat to them, and that's the problem. Too with Caleb Foster now too. You lose a guard, you lose depth. This team is not the same team that was running through teams 3 weeks ago. It just flat out isn't. And I'm interested to see where Gumba is physically, conditioning wise, all those things as they play tomorrow. And that'll be a big question. And I think that's obviously a game that many people should focus on. I was surprised the line was 11.5. Anytime I'm surprised and I think it seems weird, probably just take Duke at that point in time. But I think I'm going to ultimately end up being on the Horned Frogs.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's get to the picks for today. It's your last opportunity to actually openly talk betting here for the day, Dalen. We'll do them chronologically. The second tip-off of the day is this morning, the 12-5 game in the Midwest. Akron, you're taking the points.
It's a trendy play. I know. I hate it because it's one of those things where I've been saying they're the best team in the MAC for the last month, really. I mean, they lost by a couple points to Miami of Ohio. They shoot the heck out of it. They play with pace. Johnson's a great player. They have a team that's been to this tournament 3 years in a row, and a lot of these guys came back from last year. They have experience, which is rare even at the mid-major level. Texas Tech, obviously no JT Toppin. We're wondering what's going on, how Christian Anderson's going to look. I think they can win. I don't like to play a dog that I don't think they can win. I think they can win. Therefore, I will give me the 7.5. The problem is everybody and their brother's on it. When we see that happen, like yesterday with South Florida, that rarely works out.
Also in the Midwest, the 13-4 game, famously no Aiden Holloway for Alabama. You are jumping in on Hofstra with the points as a result.
Weird thing is, guys, I did this before. I was on them on Sunday night. I liked it at 13.5. That's when I grabbed it because I think the styles make fights. And this Hofstra team, despite Speedy's name, their coach, they play slow. They play bottom 50 tempo in the country. They have 2 elite guards. Cruz Davis is the player of the year in that league. Preston Edmeade is the freshman of the year in that league. He will be playing for some high major next year. It's an unfortunate fact of college basketball. But if they can control this pace, losing Holloway 17 points a game and 44% from the three-point line matters. But they have other guards. The question is, can Hofstra make this more of a half-court game? Can they limit the possessions? We know they're going to walk it up. They'll run opportunistically. But outside of that, I think they're going to have 2 guards at late shot clock and make plays for themselves and their teammates. I think this is going to be a really tough game for Alabama. I like Hofstra with the points. I liked it more at 13.5. Obviously, it's come down. But give me the pride.
West Region, 8-9 game with the 9-seed Utah State Aggies, a tick of a favorite, a 1.5-point favorite. You like them here against Villanova.
I've been anti-Mountain West for years. I mean, we know their record in this tournament is not good, but I think this team is a little different, and I really like their matchup. Villanova is really dependent on Caden Lewis. This kid has been amazing, but he's a freshman, and this is a big spot. Utah State can really shoot it. They're a very sound defensive team. They rebound the ball very well. I think this is a team that's undervalued where they're at, and I think when you look at from a brand name perspective, almost everybody, the public is on Villanova, but the money seems like it's on Utah State. And I like the Aggies in this situation. I think they're a more complete team, really well coached. With Calhoun's one of the hottest coaches in the country right now. Many people want him to lead their program. I like them to win this game in a tight one, but a game that I think that Utah State can control.
Utah, we had 2 9 seeds win yesterday. You're calling for Utah State to win as a 9 seed here, and you are going for the 9 seed sweep with Iowa as well.
Yeah, this is more of a bet against Clemson, really. They just can't score, guys. Their offenses, it's a struggle. And no Carter Welling, I think, affects them even further. And I don't like either one of these teams. I think this is a great 8-9 situation for Florida, honestly. Phenomenal situation for them. But Iowa has the best player on the floor, too. They got the pro. They got Bennett Sturtz. And everything has to go through him, but he can deliver. And he can deliver scoring for himself or hooking up his teammates. I think this is an ugly game. I took the over-under at 132.5. I believe it's down to 128 now, so I was not willing to do that. You see how far that's moved, but I do think this could be a bit of a just heinous game where you can give me the best player late to win a game by 5 or 6 points. I think that's what we're looking at.
A heinous game. Dalen, is there anything better than the madness? Like, again, does this always come through? What else in sports is this good? I really don't know.
There's nothing. Like I said this yesterday. There's no event. People love the Super Bowl. Nobody's going out and getting medical procedures. We're not getting vasectomies for the Super Bowl. Okay, this is like dudes are making lifetime decisions to sit on the couch and watch hoops, and it always delivers. And we can say that Cinderella is dead. Clearly, it's not quite dead. I mean, High Point, guys, this is one of those games I loved High Point's team, and I wanted to take them. It's one of them before the bracket comes out. It's like, oh, I want to take them. I loved Wisconsin. I was like, can't do it. Can't do it. That was an awesome game. Yeah. And you saw those dudes just make plays after plays and come back at them, and you find yourself rooting for it. VCU, I mean, I'm watching from behind the couch at one point because you're seeing North Carolina just melt down. But, I mean, that's a hell of a comeback, and that's an all-time performance by Terrence Hill. The games always deliver. The tournament always delivers, and I can't wait to run it back here. 16 games today, a lot of action. And thank you for giving me the outlet before I go to work and zip this up a little bit.
And how long we get to see you on TV? Where's it going to be? Remind everybody.
Well, March Madness Live app. It's called the Fast Break. It's like the Red Zone experience. We just go in and out of games. Tony Delk, Randolph Childress, myself, Tim Doyle, from 12 to 12.
Thank you, Dalen. Dalen Cuff, everybody. Right here on A Numbers Game.
VSiN's player prop projection tool is now available for the NBA. Get projections for points, assists, rebounds, and more powered by Opta AI. On VSiN.com/NBA props, we line up our projections against the latest DraftKings odds so you can quickly spot mismatches and find value before the market adjusts. The NBA player prop projections tool is available exclusively to VSiN Pro subscribers. Check it out now at VSiN.com/NBA props and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Prop Points takes you to the intersection of prop betting and fantasy sports with hosts Jeff Erickson and Nick Whalen of RotoWire.
He's the one that's the trendiest. He's the one that's going the earliest of the three, and in some leagues I've seen him go as early as the second round.
The one thing that stood out to me here is, value-wise, I would take a look at Dorian Finney-Smith over 2.5 boards.
They'll help you find the connection between the two and give you expert advice on how to capitalize when a number is too good to pass up. Prop Points every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, only on VSiN.
This is Sharp Week on VSiN, the sports betting network. A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Numbers game brought to you by ProfitX. Forget the bracket. ProfitX is taking March Madness to a whole new level with King of March. Win 10 pregame spreads or totals across the 67 tournament games. Hit your volume goal. You're entered to win a free trip of your choice. Hit $1,000 in volume. You're in for a $5,000 trip. $10,000 in volume. You're in for a $10,000 trip. Flights, hotels, wherever you want to go. Covered. Every additional 10 wins earns you another entry. Download ProfitX. Create your account. Use promo code VSiNMM as in March Madness. Win 10. Hit the volume. Earn your shot only on ProfitX. We get tweets. Speedy the book. I got too many tweets. Tons of tweets. I'm way behind. He says, this is a Scott, New York Mets 16, hot start for the ANG crew at 8-2. He says, I'm 7-3-1, which isn't too bad, but the leader, yeah, we should give the leader a shout. I only went to the VSiN Shows leaderboard.
It's because we're selfish.
A. Gettio, is that how you pronounce your name? I hope I'm pronouncing it okay. He's 13-1, all against the spread. He didn't do any totals in his 14 plays. He's 13-1. Scott says, now that is impressive. Good luck, everyone.
How many totals did we end up with? Like 2?
So we sprinkled a few.
2 or 3?
Yeah,
It wasn't many.
Mainly sides.
I'm very impressed we split up 10-10 without realizing it.
Without realizing it.
Yeah.
Lance S., I hedged my survivor pick on Wisconsin because they had to rebuy in on day one. I win my entry back only to take VCU. What's the over-under on years taken off my lifespan due to survivor sweats? Phew, let's go day 2. He had High Point in the money line also. Bet on there, he said. Let's see. This is from boobity-bitty. So many of these. Wow. John B. I'll ask this of Fezzik later, John B. He wants some questions about when is the appropriate time to take payouts on moneyline bets. He's your guy for that. We'll ask him about that. Cleve T.A., our buddy. He said, I had VCU in the $1,000 VSiN Survivor contest yesterday. LOL.
Ha!
So
That's great.
He's feeling lucky.
That's great.
James Fraction. Hey, Gil, I had Louisville in Survivor, but I was rooting for you and Kelly to get the cover with USF at the end of the game. That was a classic rip your USF ticket up, throw it away, and then dumpster dive afterwards. Any insight for Survivor on Saturday? Well, James, thank you for rooting for us. That was a completely lucky cover. You're right. Good on you for getting Louisville through in Survivor. I have not looked too closely. I want to get through today first before I truly dive into tomorrow. Which, by the way, the planning, this is a good point. The planning, as I've tried to say all week, you've got to be aware, but you really got to be aware after the first weekend. That's when you really have to start with the path. If you start doing it a little too early, I think you're doing a little too much. Las Vegas 514, yo. As a Survivor lover, please read your tiebreaker rules because some platforms use winning margins, not team seedings as their tiebreaker. Not a fan, but that's why reading is fundamental. Sheesh. That's interesting.
Winning margin.
So aggregate winning margin.
Yeah. Wait, so aggregate of all of the teams that you've picked?
You just add up your winning margins, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
That seems not as fun. Montreal
Or
Mac.
is it just the last one, and that kind of stinks even more? Right, if it just comes down to the final play or something.
I think he means winning margins, plural.
No, I think it would. Yeah, you're right. It would have to be because then people would tie.
Montreal Max tennis update. Opening matches got pushed back a half hour, so nothing underway yet. I think we're looking at a match, aren't we, Maboko?
I don't know if it's live, though.
Anyway, mine are Tirante. On the men's side, there's too many of them. On the ladies' side, it's Townsend and Jovic. On the men's side, it's Tirante is supposed to start the earliest. But I also have Landalus on the men's side. And what's my third on the men's side now? It's escaping me. Oh, the big one, Ethan Quinn. Ethan Quinn is the big dog against Casper Ruud. So those 5 in Miami today. This is from Chance Copperpot. I did a little pizza bet experiment on the first day. 1 unit on every race to 10 dog. It went 10-6 with Sienna hitting at 6-1 and some 2-1s and a plus 384. Came out to 15.65 units. He says, I'm going to do it again today, but prepared for it to lose. Fun bets. There you go. Chance Copperpot taking the race to 10
They're so fun.
to the hilt.
They're so fun. Let's go, Chance. I'm right there with you. I'm not going to do everyone, but I'd already bet 4.
Okay. What? If Kelly's not in this chair, when Fezzik, by the way, is coming in earlier today. Fezzik is going to be at the top of the next hour. Probably should have pointed that out earlier on the show. Fezzik is not in the last hour today. He's next hour.
You're right. But things we absolutely should have pointed out.
Yes. Kelly disappears in the last hour. It's because he's making bets behind us.
No, it's going to be fun, man. We get to sweat those out together.
Because we got 2 games once again tipping off while we're on air today.
And I bet both of them.
I forgot that Fezzik was. So Fezzik is next hour.
Fezzik's next.
And the reason we did that is because we didn't want Fezzik on during the games.
Well, we wanted to get any thoughts he had before the game started.
Oh, he's got thoughts. I just don't know if they're about the games. Charles, he does have thoughts on the games. We've got to ask him about his lay in the wood with Michigan and Duke yesterday.
Yeah.
Charles in Connecticut. VCU, VMI. Did Virginia have a transfer portal for Dave Ross to go through years before it became the thing we know it to be today? Interesting. Tim Bowers. I think a lot of people feel this way, Tim. He says, I'm so scarred by St. Mary's the last few years that after yesterday, I've moved them to a never bet list. Yeah. Well, there were a bunch of tweets going out yesterday like, oh, look what happens when St. Mary's actually has to play someone who can run and shoot. Fake follower, do you think Siena had a better shot winning yesterday if they used a substitute instead of going with their starters the entire game? Yeah.
That was crazy.
You'd have to ask Jerry McNamara.
That was another one where I was like, I was out watching games, right? Like, I didn't even know that was happening until like halftime. So,
well, I looked up at the screen because we're watching other games. Obviously, you're not going to start, I'm not going to have my eyes on Siena Duke. And the first time I looked up, it was 28-18. I'm like, whoa, what is...
Right, yeah. But like the five starters going the whole way, someone said it at halftime, and I totally dismissed it. Like someone that I was with, I was like, that's not true. Like, I pulled up a box score, I was like, oh, that's really happening right now.
Bill Hooker. Brad Nessler looks like one of... Why you got to say this about Brad Nessler? He looks like one of the school mascots with a huge head. Not that I've ever been mistaken for Brad Pitt. Just saying, he says. DQ Mike from Buffalo. Kelly, the TV just doesn't do Buffalo weather justice. 40 degrees is springtime for us. If the TSA lines allow me, I'll be in Circa on Monday. All right, DQ Mike.
Oh, 40 degrees ain't bad then.
DQ Mike, we've hung out at Caesars before, I believe.
Fred's probably getting a tan today then.
Chuckism 1. A tan.
Hanging outside.
He's definitely wearing shorts. You know that guy?
Shorts for sure.
They're absolutely in shorts. Chuckism 1. How long until ANG officially introduces the 1 through 3 buttoned up Todd Wishnev scale? Yeah, no kidding. Jason Q. Bidlin looking at his paperwork with same look I have when my local watering hole changes up the menu. I missed that.
I was studying my bracket when we were talking Survivor, okay?
Judd O'Connor. I thought the same thing about the West Coast Conference teams as you did, Gil. Also, we have west to east travel here as well. St. Mary's and Zags just don't seem nearly athletic as they looked against inferior competition. Shooter McGamlin, Gil. I also went to Mizzou, and I can confirm they do not win anything. Let's see, LFC title records. Not sure who said it, but I know I heard, don't call them a mid-major, when in fact they are a mid-major. One of the announcers said that yesterday.
Oh, that's a good one then. Yeah, that's a good one for the list.
Yeah. Oh, and apparently there's a dead heat ruling, Hard Rock. I've gotten a couple tweets about this. I don't know the details because I didn't have time to look at it, but apparently the Hard Rock did some shenanigans yesterday.
I looked at it real quick. It makes absolutely zero sense.
Round 1, T10?
Yeah, and then, gosh, even the... I forget what you and I were talking about. This was definitely off the air like a week or two ago, but the the person posted the messages too back and forth like with whatever representative from Hard Rock, and it's just, remember you were talking about like these books, if they have to, it was the Massachusetts ruling, right? If they have to really give explanations to customers about why they're being limited or stuff like that, these books are going to need to hire better people to explain this stuff, because that Hard Rock messaging was painful to read through.
What's your Valspar update, right? Is Gim in the lead? Doug Gim?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, that was not a happy he is from Kelly.
Actually, I don't know. Like, it's not, you haven't seen me bet Doug Gim in like 2 years. Like, I really took like last year off. If he wins, that's fine. There is another name on this list, though, that's going to upset me way more if he does win, because I almost bet him this week, and you know him as my least favorite golfer. Jordan Spieth.
Oh, yeah.
He is 5 under par right now, 4 shots off Doug Gim's lead. Let's see. You have David Lipsky, 8 under, Sungjae Im, 7 under, Brant Snedeker, 6 under, Davis Thompson, 5 under. Then I got a few of my guys. They're at 4 under. Matt Fitzpatrick, he's out on the course right now through 9, 1 under for his round. He's 4 under for the tournament. Jacob Bridgman and Nikolai Højgaard there as well. And Gil's Rookie of the Year bet, Marco Penge at 4 under par.
Marco...
Oh, can I circle back to 2 tweets?
What?
I've got 2 tweets I want to circle back to. Please. I am interested in the Bet365 early payouts. I don't know what the math is. Maybe Steve can do it for us. Right, but like there is definitely a money line comparison, if you're betting those, of when you should go there and when you should go away from there. And then I don't know if you saw this one tweet that came in. I don't know if you ever did this yesterday. I did open up my DraftKings app yesterday during games, and this new interface showed up. And I didn't really look into it much because games were going on and everything. The DraftKings prediction markets, live and in your face in states, I think, where you can't use their sportsbook.
They have begun.
Yeah.
Good luck, DraftKings.
So, like, you pull up the sportsbook. I go to DraftKings Sportsbook. I pulled up that app, and it sent me right here.
Niemo, Ryan's voice, getting 0 right. Oh, talking about the ESPN brackets, how out of millions of brackets, 20 people had 0 right yesterday. He says getting 0 right is wild. I had a math teacher that used to say if we got 0 correct on the statewide math aptitude test, he'd pay for our college. To get them all wrong, you'd have to know all the right answers, he said. Yeah, probably true. Steve Fezzik, ladies and gentlemen, an hour earlier. By the way, your guy Kneppel's up to minus 235 now, Rookie of the Year.
Go Con.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feeling good.
Feeling good. We'll update those later on the show as well, including the now probably over MVP.